Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the really real Ghostbusters in Terror Vision, part 6 of our really real Ghostbusters in Terror Vision campaign. Today is March 11th, 2023, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point. Or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us again at patreon.com/indooradventures. Or, hey, guess what? Sometimes if you post those questions in the Twitch chat, they get a little lost. But if you post them in the Discord, the link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side or in the description of this video or audio cast down below, then you can join us. You can ask those questions and questions for the courts. You can sign the petition to bring our Triceratops skeleton back. Obviously, the DM has to listen if we get enough signatures on that. That's how player progress works, I'm pretty sure. Let's say you already support us on Twitch, you already support us on Patreon and YouTube and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Well, guess what, Acorns? I got your back, quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, and we even have masks. That's right, face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where all of the proceeds for all of our merch is currently going to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause, or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So, hey Ted, who you playing today?
Well, hi everyone. My name is Ted, and I will be playing Ted. That's right, and we both go by he, him.
All right, and M, who you playing today?
What is up? I'm Em. I'm also known as McBoots42 or Boots, and I use any pronouns. Today I will be playing Mallory, a ghostologist with a gun, and Mallory uses she/they pronouns.
All right, and that brings it to me. Hey, everybody, it's me, SirHeckalot. Tonight, as per usual, I am playing Natalie Collins, the still ghost the still confused, and we're just going to see how that goes. The two of us use she/they pronouns.
And I am the indoor adventurer, he, him. And tonight, I shall be playing as Maurice Williams. We both go by the he, him pronouns.
Oof. I'm Lex, and I'm playing the Ghostmaster, the person who's in charge of the game. He, him pronouns for me. And, oh golly, this is the really real Ghostbusters. A show with all the subtlety of a toy brand aimed at kids who want to gross out their friends and family. We've been having some fun here. We had a great time last time with mirrors, lots of spooky mirrors. The group went to Stenson Tower in search of the missing Vince Tanaka, Nakatome Technologies engineer. They looked around the towers. A few spooky things happened, but they didn't super find anything except for an odd cassette tape and some sauce packets. Those were important. Sauce packets were important. Then they headed over to Nakatome's offices. Met Vince's co-worker, Dr. Steven Gutenberg, definitely a very serious character, who built the equally serious Johnny Five robot. After looking around the offices, they realized that there was a custom because it wasn't custom built, custom hacked Teddy Ruxpin, which took the cassette tape they'd found in Vince Tanaka's apartment. This allows one to get into the restricted areas of the Nakatomi R&D laboratories to see what was up. I think what we ended with was Ted and Johnny Five ran into the other offices to create a distraction.
That was Maurice and
That was
Johnny.
That was Maurice.
That was Maurice. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. I'm good with kids. It's fine.
It's fine. Maurice and Johnny Five ran into the offices to create a distraction, while the rest of the party went to the off-limits areas, got in, then immediately split up. X character, Natalie, went off, found a computer server room where the computer posed an important question, which also confused everyone as to what the computer was supposed to be a reference to, which is my fault.
We got there.
Yeah,
We got
and Mallory and Ted went off to Vince's like private lab where he had been working on his special secret project. They found things such as circuit boards, a big satellite dish, lots of wires. There was a big comical on switch, and Mallory was like, "Yo, I'm gonna turn that on. Let's do it." And I was like, "Excellent." It was turned on, and immediately electricity, rotoscoped lightning started shooting out everywhere. And a strange imp or gremlin-like creature made of electricity seemed to form out of the void, cackled with laughter, and then jumped into an electrical outlet. It is now somewhere loose in the facility. At that same time, Natalie's half-haunted Natalie character got her ESP that something had happened. Yeah. But that's where we're at. I don't think I forgot anything major there. That was the big stuff.
Didn't the computer turn on and say some shit like you want to play a game?
Yeah.
It's like super foreboding.
It's not scary at all. Don't worry. Listen, no one can die. It's fine. Everyone's fine.
Remember, Saw didn't exist. This is a reference to another more fun game or more fun movie. This isn't Saw. Not.
Yeah.
We're fine. We're fine.
Sorry. A War Games like computer turned
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Correct.
It's a
Arguably as scary.
a big black slab of technology with a bunch of LEDs all over it.
Yeah.
I want to start with that scene. So Natalie, you're standing there in front of this large black slab of technology, LEDs all over it. There are letters on the side that say WOPR. And yeah, and there's a speaker built into it. And it's like, Hello, would you like to play a game with me?
Is there like something that like is there a microphone, or is this like do I need to like type in like commands?
Oh, how does it work in War Games? I think in War Games you do have to type in commands. So there probably is a computer terminal with like a Commodore 64 set up.
You just
Great.
have like a little flashing square. Like,
Exactly.
the
That's
cursor.
exactly
Yeah.
what
The
I was
square
Yeah.
cursor.
You have to
Yeah.
choose your game in War Games.
Hmm.
Oh,
Well, it helps that we own an arcade, right?
true.
The also along the walls are the big like servers with like the spinning like magnetic tape stuff.
Classic.
I like this. Yeah, I'm gonna take a seat or like go, up to the keyboard here, and I'm just gonna type in yes and see what it thinks.
You type in yes, and you hear excellent. Let's play my favorite game. and
what
then
is its
it
favorite
starts loading something, and you hear like cranking a little bit as it's loading.
game?
And oh, where's the thing? My notes are in the wrong place. Here we go. Yes. Yeah. This big like fancy lettering. So the screen like flashes. This is like a 3-color computer console screen, but it like flashes, and this like sort of fancy like pixel font comes up, and it says Cavern of the Evil Wizard.
Oh no.
And then that
Oh, no.
slowly goes away. And then a screen comes up with what looks like it's mostly blue. Seems like an ice cavern. There's a pillar on one end of it, and there is what seems to be a wizard standing atop the pillar, dressed in a robe decorated with eyes. At the far end of the hall of the cavern is an entryway, and a character who you would assume is you because they're a different color than everything else.
Mhm.
And below the picture, it says, "You are standing in the cavern of the evil wizard. All around you are the carcasses of slain ice dwarfs."
Classic.
And then there's like the cursor blinking.
Okay. Oh, I don't remember what the commands to this are off the top of my head. Um,
You also hear a beep, beep, beep. After maybe 10 seconds, a thing
oh
that
my God.
comes up says, "What do you want to do?"
Well, I have a feeling I know what slayed the ice dwarf, so I'm just gonna say move forward.
It says, "You move forward." The text comes up and says, "You move forward," and your little character goes deet 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 deet, like walks up.
Yeah.
Um, and then it says the ice wizard stares down at you menacingly. They begin to conjure a spell.
Does it prompt again?
Yeah, so there's another cursor, and you're beep, beep, beep.
Attack.
So you type in attack, and it says, "How do you attack the ice wizard?"
Mhm.
Beep, beep,
Can I
beep,
cast my own spell?
beep, beep. I mean, what you gotta tell me what you're typing in. Beep,
Yeah, cast spell. Just
cast
do it.
spell. What spell do you cast? Beep,
Oh my
beep,
God.
I said
beep,
fireball.
beep.
We're gonna go with that fireball.
All right. You cast fireball, and suddenly there's a red flash that comes up on the screen, and then it says, "You have successfully melted the ice wizard. Congratulations!" And then the screen goes white, and it like says, and you hear do 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 do, and it just says congratulations in like fancy letters, and then it says game over.
I'm
Um,
glad. I'm glad this machine is having fun with what
yeah.
I've input here.
And then it says, and then you hear the from out of the speaker, "Thank you so much. No one ever wants to play games with me. They just use their password to enter into the system. What would you like to access?"
Oh. Does there appear to be any like can I type in a command for like a general directory of what information is here in the
You
files?
certainly can do that, yes.
Okay.
Good idea.
General directory. There's a couple different subsets and folders, such as orders, shipments, projects. What else would be in here? Let me check. Yeah, I think those would probably be the ones that you'd see.
Okay. Yeah, let's start with projects.
Okay. Projects. Let's see. Nakatomi Revolution 5 Walkman. Nakatome S7 boombox with built-in keyboard. And then there's like a subfolder that says so there's those, and then there's a subfolder that's like secret projects.
That seems very on the nose.
It's a little bit
But
on
sure,
the nose.
let's open that.
You open that. And it says satellite transmission technology.
Okay.
You can open that up if you want.
Absolutely. Let's take a
Okay.
look.
You open that up, and it says like project lead Vince Tanaka. Let's see, clearance level like 7 or something.
Ooh.
And and it says top priority for immediate testing, new satellite uplink transmission technology. And then it lists like development of transmitter for use with existing satellites. Let's see, cable signal compatibility, and like for immediate testing. Trying to think of other information that it would list in there, because it is like weirdly vague, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, top priority for immediate testing, for use with existing satellites, cable uplink, compatibility. I think that's the important stuff.
Okay. Like me rapidly typing everything in this notepad over here. Okay. Good to know. And we've put Vincent a project here, so that's a good. We have a place for him here. If there's nothing else in like the secret projects or the projects, yeah, because like with the Walkman, the boombox, like it's pretty standard. That's not too out of the ordinary. Yeah, let's go to orders next.
Okay. So a bunch of stuff comes up because this company does a lot of different orders, and it's mostly like TVs, stereos, Walkmans, all that kind of stuff. And it's going like lots of orders to Radio Shack, other sort of typical box store places. And then it's like at the bottom, there's a thing that says like satellite transmission hardware. So you can click on that and see where that's going to.
Absolutely.
And it says prototypes shipped to GNN headquarters for installation and testing. And the date on that is today's date. But there's another one on there that says the same thing, but it's shipped to Channel D Public Access, New York, and the date for that is last week.
Oh, okay. Good to know. So would this also be under shipments then, or?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a little scary. Okay. Especially now that like I'm looking at the overlay and seeing that this is Terror Vision. Oh no.
What's the name of this
What's
campaign?
the name of the
What
campaign?
could it be?
Terror Vision. It's all coming together. Yeah. If there's nothing else like in the folders or anything like that,
it's a lot of boring information about like the number of units shipped, like time codes, prices. It does say that if you look under the prices, the stuff that was going to the public access channel was 1 unit, and it was pro bono, so it was like a charitable donation. But the GNN one is like, like 8 units, and then it lists like how much they cost and everything like that. It's, like tens of thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna put some money signs next to that in my notes. Yeah. This is going to definitely be some news to the group. Yeah, I am satisfied with this information, and I'm gonna see what they did that I sensed across the hallway because oh no.
You sensed across the hallway. You head out to the other room. Cut to the R&D offices, or maybe just the regular offices. Let's do the regular offices first of the Nakatome Corporation. And you just hear wow. And just I think we discussed it last session, but it's that thing where you see the tops of the cubicles, right?
And stuff is just happening.
And stuff is just flying out, like papers, file folders, and you see like the head and the arms of Johnny Five as he's just ripping down this hallway between these cubicles. And I guess following behind him is Maurice, probably huffing to keep up with this guy.
Well, he's more like chasing after to like get other people to run and chase after him as well. Because like that was the whole thing, is like he needed to distract the guards. So if the guards are all distracted via hijinks, I think that Maurice, I would like to try and make matters worse under the guise of helping. Where it's like, oh no, like I bumped into a thing and it fell over, and it created a ramp for Johnny Five to then like hit over the cubicle wall, like that kind of thing. Like I want to assist in hijinks. Wait. I have an idea, and it'll be stupid, but that's honestly part of the reason with Maurice. Clearly, I would have wanted to give Johnny Five some suntan lotion from the beach kit to act as like a slippery grease. So when people are chasing after him, they'll suddenly start going like, whoa, like slide into like a water cooler and things.
Can't keep getting away with this.
Very good. So people from the cubicles are all running around, trying to pick up their stuff. You're like running in and being like, "Oh, let me help you," and then you like accidentally push everything over.
Yeah.
And the security guards haven't shown up yet, but if you like look behind you, you can see they're just like starting to run into the room, right, that all these cubicles are in.
Okay.
And yeah, Johnny's just like ripping it up all over the place.
Oh yeah, Maurice is gonna try and like go over to the guards, and he's stumbling and bumbling, and using his best guess to figure out how to create the most obtuse pathway to Johnny Five.
Okay, sure. So I definitely want to roll for this. I think this is probably going to be a 15 because the guards don't know you, but I'm trying to figure out if this would be, I feel like it would probably be a cool.
Okay.
Because you're trying to be like, no, guys, I know what to do. You need to go over here. Let me convince you to do this thing instead of whatever you were going to do.
All right. So with that being said, how many brownie points would it be to spend to accomplish shenanigans?
Oh, for something like this, probably just like 3.
Done.
Okay.
Spending them.
You do maybe like before they came in, you like tipped over like a printer or something that blocked off one of the little hallways between cubicles, and then when you get to the security guards, you're like, oh no, go down this way, it's the fastest, and then you like turn the corner, there's this giant printer that has been tipped over there.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like spewing paper out of the side of it.
Yes.
And the guards are like, "Oh, this is gonna work." And like one of them tries climbing over it, and he like slips a little bit, and the other one's like, "Oh, this is stupid," and just runs around like a different way. Um, and you do the thing where you're like, "No, no, don't go that way." And you like grab the back of his shirt, and he's like, "What? Why are you grabbing me?" And then you're like, "I'm not. Listen, it's fine. Just I wanted to make sure you go the wrong way."
I didn't want to. I wanted to make sure that little guy's been putting all sorts of slippery liquids on the floor, and really, you got to be careful. You can't run where it's wet. You know, that's basic sense. And there's like a little PSA moment. He looks at the camera, goes back to what he's doing.
Meanwhile, in the background, Johnny Five goes off a ramp. You hear, "Wow!"
Just I'm not grabbing you. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Some other guy.
Oh no, he's caught in my proton pack. Like it's not like I'm not holding on to him, but we've somehow become entangled.
Entangled. Yeah.
Okay, yep.
Is there anything else specific you want to do here?
No, I just kind of want to add to the chaos until it looks like it is out of hand enough that I could just like kind of like homer into the bushes. Like get it to the point enough where chaos has been caused and I'm just going to go and then oh, right, ghosts. That's what I need to be worrying about. You never know. Like what if one got into the electrical system? We really need to check on that.
We should check on that, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think once chaos has been caused, Maurice will then sort of like see himself out. He'll
Sure.
In classic fashion, he'll say check please, and then he'll leave.
I think you the last thing after you've significantly delayed the security guards, the last you see of Johnny Five is him bursting through a set of double doors that you actually passed earlier. That was the audio like R&D place where they were testing stereo equipment.
Oh hell yeah!
So he's in that section of the building now, and the guards are trying to get over there. Cut back to the off limits areas. The door to Vince Tanaka's secret lab opens, and Natalie walks in, seeing Mallory and Ted standing there. This machine is on and it's thrumming, and there's all these sparks coming off of it. And like, yeah, Natalie, your new ghost sense is going wild. It's actually like kind of hard to concentrate because it's like it's not like a throbbing headache, but it's like, you know, kind of like giving you double vision a little bit.
Yeah, sensory overload a little bit. I had a feeling something happened. What happened?
And I just hold up like the fried and exploded PKE meter that happened last time, and I'm like,
oh yeah, I forgot that happened.
I don't know, but this blew up. So clearly ghost things.
You hold up the PKE meter and one of the little antennae just falls off of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing. I don't know. How did you find anything?
Yeah, a decent bit. About one particular project. We can talk about it when Maurice is here, and maybe we're not in a. Sorry, like my mind's drifting off a little bit. There's just a lot going on in this room right now.
Is there a lot going on in this room right now?
Yeah,
there kind
like
of
visible to other people, not just Natalie.
Yeah, no. So
Okay.
like I said, there's lots of like sparks, and because you didn't turn the machine off, it's still running.
Right.
And there's lots of like lightning arcing between this device that has like an antennae on it and this like satellite dish going back and forth. You know, crazy lights, some wind. Where's the wind coming from? Who knows? It's just a thing.
You can't just ask people where the wind comes from.
Have you ever seen a movie? Come on, it's just there.
Yeah. I don't know. Should we turn it off?
I mean, go for it. I'll watch. You're back.
I don't like this. Just aside from the clearly ominous wind and arcing lightning, and the explosion of this PKE meter, we didn't see anything else, like nothing else major happen in this room. Or no, we had the ghost come out of it.
The Ted gremlin.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. And I'll be like, oh, by the way, there's an electric ghost made of electricity that like left through an electrical outlet. Forgot about that for a second, but that happened too. And I'm like, do I think turning it off will be good or worse for this thing? And I'm gonna be like, no. It's probably better. We try, and I'll pull the comically large on switch to off.
You reached for the comically large on switch. I need you to make me a roll as you get zapped.
Yeah, I was like, please tell me you're not wearing any rings.
Yeah, no, we're good.
This is probably going to be a muscles. I think that makes the most sense in this situation. You have to like grab it and then wrench it back into the off position.
Awesome. What do we think we're looking at? We have any idea as far as like...
Oh gosh, I mean, despite everyone's calm demeanor, there's lightning everywhere, wind, there's papers flying all over the room.
This is standard.
Honestly, you probably had to shout that entire conversation that you just had.
Okay, right.
This is probably a 20. I think that's what we'd be looking for.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Get with my 2d6 that I have. So
you could spend brownie points to auto.
Yeah, how much do we think it would be to succeed?
4. If you spend 5, I'll give you an extra thing.
I will. You know what? Chat flushed us up here at the start. I'll spend 5. Let's go.
Thanks, chat. Oh, hey, you know what I forgot to mention at the top of the show? This game is audience participation. You at home, if you're watching live, can spend channel points. And for the low price of 1,000 channel points, you can give one player 1 brownie point. And brownie points, I mean, I'm not going to discuss what they do again. If you're this far in, you probably know, but they're good. Players want them. They'd like them. They do a lot of things.
Players want them, and doctors hate them. So get your brownie points in.
ask your pharmacologist about
ask your Ghostmaster if brownie points are right for you.
30 brownie points a day keeps the doctor away.
True. It's true. So yeah, do you want to spend the 5 or the 4?
I will spend all 5, yeah.
All 5. You reach up there, you grasp the lever and yank it to the off position. And the whole machine goes like, and like all the lightning dissipates and stuff. Or that's what everybody else sees. Ted, when you do that, your eyes go white for a minute. You see beyond the realm of the living.
What?
And you just get like a flash of like the spirit world. So I mean, imagine the end of the first Ghostbusters movie with like the portal and everything.
Yeah, okay.
It's like you like see that, and for a minute there's like all of these like weird spectral shapes flying around all over the place. And then as soon as the switch fully clicks into the off position, the vision is just gone.
Yeah. Make sure everything's good. It was just like, was it comprehensible, like what I saw? Because it's like it's a split second, and it's obviously quite alien to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's it's like frick, what was that? What's that thing? Here's another 80s movie effect reference for you.
Sure.
You know the way they would do like clouds gathering for like the composed shots. They do it a lot in like Indiana Jones, like the end of the first Indiana Jones movie. I think they do it in Ghostbusters as well.
Yeah.
And some other stuff where it's just like they pour like different stuff into a big like fish tank and it all swirls around. It's very cool. Look it up on YouTube. And so it was like that kind of visual. Oh, if you ever saw Star Trek II, the Nebula, they do it that way
Okay.
too.
Okay.
So it's like that kind of visual. There was all these different weird, like spectral, ghosty creatures, which are not so different from the kinds of ghosts you
Sure.
see on a regular basis. And there's like, it's one of those things where it's like you got a bunch of sensory information really quickly. So you're like, you're pretty sure there's more in there, but you need to like sit down and think about it to try
Yeah.
and like dig to like filter through all of that input.
Okay. All right. Did anybody else see the stars and space and a bunch of ghosts, or was that just me?
I think that's just a you thing.
I'll just like put my hand on like a desk and just like be like, so I don't know what I saw, but that was not here. And you know what? I was just saying I'm not good. Little scared, little not thinking rationally. Is where I'm at right now. So, how are you?
I'm not really sure how to respond to the
Your ESP senses have calmed down now that the
Okay,
device is
okay,
off. It's
that's-
pretty much gone away.
I think that's something that we should definitely unpack. Maybe not here. Is there anything else we want to grab from here before we get out? Because I'm not sure how long our dynamic duo is going to be able to hold
feel
off
like
our
that's
guards.
when Maurice would come back. And just like, well, how long do we have? And just be like, I don't know, but if you need to grab anything, I'd recommend making it fast.
I want to say that Maurice, as you're running towards the room,
Mm-hmm.
you're like running towards where everybody went, and you see the open door to like the restricted area.
Yeah.
And as you're running towards them, you just see along the ceiling, because there's let's say there's like some exposed pipes
Yeah.
and stuff, and not like exposed wiring, but pipes that are containing wiring,
Mm-hmm.
and you just see this like light, like a pulse of electricity that's traveling along, going back towards where you came from.
Huh.
Oops.
Technology is amazing.
and then you get into the room with everybody else.
Yep. And that's when he would just be like, if we need to borrow anything, now is the time to borrow. I don't know how long that kid's going to be able to hold them off.
We did unleash a ghost on this place too, though, right? Like nobody that happened.
Yeah.
We set an electric gremlin thing loose.
Does it look like a lightning bug? Because I saw a glowy thing going through the pipes heading back that way.
Well, it did leave through an electrical outlet, but it basically, yeah, I don't know how I would describe it. Like a mischievous ball of electricity. Is that?
I think that's fair.
That's
it had a somewhat humanoid form. It was like kind of imp shaped, so it had arms and legs and a head.
It's 1986. Do you remember the movie Gremlins?
Oh,
it's like that, but made of electricity.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Maybe if they ever make a sequel to Gremlins, they'll like, use that idea. But
yeah.
Is that something we feel the need to take care of? I'm down to bust a ghost. I'm just saying. However, I mean, we did let the Radiohead man leave because we felt other things were pressing. Is this just a like, oops, sorry, we released a ghost while we were being hired for a missing persons case? I mean, it's either that or it takes us a little bit longer. And we really milk that
Retainer. I don't feel good about releasing a ghost on this place. I don't have a good feeling about this place as a whole. I feel like they're doing some sketchy stuff. But I don't feel like leaving a ghost here is a good call. But also, I've seen some things. And there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot going on right now.
I will point out that the stuff in this room that you could take with you is the transmitter device, which is quite large. That would probably be difficult to sneak out of the building, but maybe in the chaos you could. The satellite dish you couldn't take with you, too big.
Okay.
The schematics and paperwork you probably could gather up and take.
Okay, schematics for sure.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that we need somebody skilled in borrowing if we want to take the big machine with us.
Only we knew someone cool.
Say less.
If only we also could get access to a giant, potentially super strong robot that could carry this out of the building for us.
Curious. Does this look like something I could borrow?
It probably. It's certainly something you could lift with some effort and then carry out awkwardly. When you run into someone who might be like, hey, what are you doing with that? That's when I would need that borrow roll.
I like it. Take it now. Ask for forgiveness later.
Yeah. I like it.
That is the borrowing way. I need this more than they did.
Yeah. Great. You
remind me too, because I think we recall that this would basically seem like a bigger version of the device that we found on the train, correct? Like a similar design.
Oh, so the device you found on the train is just a little power transformer, just like a little guy. If you look at this thing, this has one of those components in it.
Okay. Yeah,
so it's like the
connection.
Yeah, it's like the thing you found on a train is like a piece of this.
Okay, yeah, so we definitely need this. That's what it all comes down to.
Yeah, well, ultimately, there's no way around it.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. We've just got to steal it.
Yeah, it's official Ghostbusters business.
Borrowing.
This is a kids show. You don't steal.
Stealing is wrong.
True.
Look at camera.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna take it. You're gonna head out. Are you just gonna get out of the building, or are you gonna do anything else?
We can come back for the ghost.
Look, we leave a business card. This is a secondary client. We can possibly get like 2 jobs at once out of this.
Yeah, I mean, we could just have incidentally found this ghost. We're like, hey, you have a ghost problem too. Here's our card.
Yeah, right.
I thought I was just,
the vibes.
Somebody must have misplaced it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you notice things start going a little haywire around here, like, you know who to call, or I guess who you gonna call is the right way to ask it. Yeah.
Our card probably says, "Do you know who to call?"
But you is like capital underlined, like. We are ready to believe you.
We're ready to believe you. Okay, you folks start heading out of the building. You walk out of the restricted area. You walk towards the you have to walk past the cubicle area to get to the reception desk, and then the front door. And you're walking through the cubicle area, and like things are in disarray. There's like crashes and bangs coming from the R&D room, and you could just hear like people shouting from in there. And as you're going through, you just see along the ceiling there's that spark of electricity like zooping around, and this poor balding office worker, he's got the tie on, he's got like a pencil pocket thing, a pocket pouch for pencils. You know how it is.
A pocket protector.
And
Mhm.
there it is, pocket protector. And he's trying to clean up his desk because he's like, oh, thank goodness they're finally getting that robot under control. I mean, it's like every other week. I really gotta talk to Gutenberg about that. And like as he's saying that, he probably doesn't even pay that much attention to you folks. But the electricity zoops down from the ceiling, like through an outlet, or not through an outlet, but down a length of electrical cable, and goes into that big like copy fax machine. And the copy fax machine like lurches around, and the guy's like standing behind it, and he just stands up. He's got these papers. He's like, these were torn apart. I gotta reprint these. And he turns towards the copy machine, and the copy machine just like opens up as like a big monster mouth, and a bunch of like threads of I don't know, like ribbons of whatnot just shoot out of it and wrap around him. And he's like, oh no! And then he gets dragged into it.
Are the pages that are being shot out? Are the pages that are being
It's
shot
like-
out showing him like, oh no?
Yeah, yes. Would they land at your feet as you're running by?
Probably look at Mallory. Get it to the car.
Yeah.
You got it.
That proton pack out.
Yeah.
Yes, like okay, it's starting to hurt
Yeah, all
people.
right,
We're
it's-
gonna
yeah,
we're
it's
gonna do something
fine.
about this.
I guess we'll bust a ghost.
It's like we are the only people who can handle this kind of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
You need
Honestly, I
to-
think we might be a little overqualified. Maybe we should just.
Clearly, this is like an electrician's job, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get somebody from Con Ed in here. They'll take care of it. It'll be fine.
Like, I don't know about networking. I just know about bones and like rocks and stuff.
Bones and rocks, please. Mallory heads out to the car.
Okay.
Mallory, I want. Yeah, actually, we'll get to you in a minute.
Okay.
I'm not sure what order to do this in. Everybody else, I assume, whips out their proton wands.
Yes.
Mhm.
As
Right.
this thing sort of like lurches around towards you, and it's like the the little like scanner bed, right, that has like a lid on it, like opens up, and all this like light, like ghostly light and like dry ice starts coming off of it. And you just hear this cackling laughter as it starts like spitting paper at you, but it's like the paper is like folding itself into like hard edge shapes, like origamiing itself and shooting at you. What are you doing?
I am getting in front of my two companions, and I'm going to pull out the beach umbrella and unfurl it like a shield and let us walk forward.
Yes.
Amazing.
I don't know what's more disturbing to Ted at this moment. Seeing essentially this world of ghosts, or the fact that for what seems to be a third time, Maurice is making use of this beach set to great effect in an office building. And I don't understand.
Maurice, that's going to be a muscles roll.
Okay.
And I want to know what other people are doing.
Okay. I'm using
yeah.
2 brownie points. Oh my god. A 15.
Oh, that's enough. Yeah.
15
So what
with
are
one
other
ghost.
people doing? So yeah, you as these papers shoot out at you, you pop open the umbrella, and they all just like, then maybe they don't all bounce off of it. A bunch of them like stick into it, and you just see they're strangely sharp paper edges, just like, oh.
Yeah,
But-
would I have an idea if unplugging this machine would keep it in the fax machine so it can't leave it, or would that do the opposite?
Is it plugged in the first place?
It is
That's
currently
also very
plugged in
true.
because
Yeah.
this thing got to it via the electrical socket,
Exactly.
right?
That's right.
So
yeah.
yeah. So the you're not sure because you've never encountered a ghost like this before. You could spend your action to use brains and try and figure out what would be the best course of action if you'd like, or you can just do something.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a smart thing to do here. So I'm going to do that.
Brains roll.
Yeah, I'm going to use some brownie points for this too. I'm going to use 3 brownie points because that seems a good amount here. 21. Okay.
Wow. You're like, oh, I've read about this. This is exactly like the well, let's see, the Miami Poltergeist of '78. Yeah,
Everybody knows about the Miami Poltergeist
I'm writing
of
that in my
78.
notes.
Just like in 78.
It's like 78. Yeah, there was a ghost that would possess electrical objects. That one, you could destroy the electrical objects that it was inhabiting, which was pretty easy to do. But that wouldn't necessarily hurt the ghost itself. It would then jump to another thing. But it can basically do that because it can live in the wiring, right? It can go from thing to thing really easily if there's a wired connection. If you unplug, it is forced to physically get out of the object, which means it is vulnerable to being blasted. So you figure that out, but that's all you can do this round. And Ted, are you blasting? Or I guess Natalie could tell you what she realized before you do anything, if you guys want.
Yeah, if I could, I would absolutely like to communicate. Hey, if we unplug this, it's gonna have to get out of the machine. We can blast it better.
All right, I'm gonna run over to the plug and pull the plug.
All right, this thing is, so you leave the safety, the extreme safety of the umbrella.
Of this beach umbrella, yeah.
I need you to make, I believe this is going to be moves to dodge all of these projectiles as you're doing like a combat roll to the outlet.
Yeah, I could definitely do that. Or would it be running?
Can you outrun them?
Can you outrun them? You know what? Fine, you can outrun them. I know you do love running.
Very much in antithesis of real life, Ted. I love running in this game. Here we go. Run. Ooh, an 11.
An 11.
No
ghost eye. Yeah, no ghost eyes yet. An 11, an 11, an 11. You know, that umbrella roll was very good earlier, wasn't it? Oh, no, it was only a 15. It was the brains roll that was really good. I'm going to say that you're going to take like a brownie point of damage. You get nicked a little bit, but you don't get too hurt. Yeah, you get some paper cuts.
No, not the paper cuts.
But you get to the
worst.
But you get to the outlet and grab it.
I don't know if I'm able to pull it on this turn, but I will if I can.
You can, yeah. It's easy to just pull the plug. You do that, and suddenly the machine that's, the spectral light coming out of the scanning bed and all of these papers that are shooting out suddenly just goes like and stops moving and just goes limp, and like some parts of it fall off. And then the side doors where you like load the paper like fly open, and that guy that it swallowed falls out of it. And he's just like, oh geez, what's happening? Does it Gutenberg? And then it sparks once, twice, 3 times, and that little imp thing leaps out of it, and is making its way back to an outlet, but can't get there immediately. So now we're into a new round. Yeah. What are people doing?
How far am I on taking the thing to the car?
You have probably gotten into the lobby at this point. The secretary just looks at you because she's heard all this commotion from back there, and she looks at you and she's like, "What? Hey, what are you doing?"
Hi, I was asked to move this really sensitive equipment. It sounds like there's some kind of altercation back there. You should probably get security to come check it out.
Um, I need you to roll for borrow to see if you can convince this frazzled lady that you didn't just destroy a bunch of things and are stealing property. This is gonna be like a 20.
Oh, okay.
I know that's got to be pretty good, right?
I
Your
don't know,
borrow's
like how
gotta be-
many.
My
yeah, like, how
borrowing is
many
8.
Yeah.
So it'll be 7, right? Because you'll lose 1 as to represent the ghost dice. 76. That's
That's not bad. Or you could ask how many brownie points it would take to do it.
How many would it take?
How many would it take to do this? Probably 5.
5? I'd rather roll. Okay, let me use 2 brownie points
Okay.
for this.
That sounds like
It's like those are numbers.
those are good numbers. Oh my god!
So
That's what goes down.
Wait, why was it? How many brownie points did you use?
Well, it came up 14d6, so I don't
Right?
know.
That was all so many
What
dice.
is-
It's like, what happened?
Oh, it's now adding stuff together. Okay, so let's see. It should be, I don't know why it's doing that. 5. Let's see. Okay, so it should be 10. There, did we get it this time?
No, that's still
No?
12.
It's
Still 12.
You've rolled 2 ghost dice are trying to get this to work, which means you're gonna get a
Okay,
ghost die.
there we go. Finally got the right
Okay.
numbers.
Well,
I
if
got 31
a
on the
31
correct roll.
totally succeeds. I'm still gonna make you take a ghost die though, because you've rolled
Okay.
ghost dice twice, and I'm itching for it. I need that ghost die in my life.
Excellent.
Yeah. That woman is like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. You folks are the professionals. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll take care of this.
You're like, cool, okay. And then you walk, you're like, great. And you turn around and immediately bump into a display stand that had some like a TV or some stereo equipment on it. And that device goes
no.
flying right out of your hands.
Oh no.
Oh, not the sensitive equipment.
The sensitive equipment
No.
and falls onto the floor.
Slow motion.
And there's like a crashing sound, and then you
I
look,
just am like,
and the lady looks at you, and she looks at the device, and she looks back at you, and you look at the device, and the device is like, it might not be broken. It's so hard to tell because it's like a prototype device, so it's all these different like circuit boards that have been like soldered together and stuff, and wires and things. So like, just to look at it, you're like, it might still be okay.
it's probably fine. It's probably fine.
Oh, also that was a good cat. We got a good cat on
Like
screen
the
there.
fact that the cat like doesn't mind like being held like that.
She has a growth on her.
Baffles
She has a growth on her stomach, so it's actually more comfortable for her to
Oh.
like grab by like
Aw.
the outer side than trying to go for the tummy. She
Mm.
puts up more. She doesn't put up any fuss. I don't know. She's also just a little weirdo. She's a tiny little freak, and I love her.
So yeah, you can pick that back up and head out to the car if you want.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. You do that.
I'm gonna
Okay.
try not to drop it again.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna put something in my notes.
Uh-oh.
I don't like the sound of that.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure this is fine.
Yeah. I'm putting 2 things in my notes. One of them is Ted saw the infinite.
Yeah.
So
Ghost zone.
Ghost Zone. The rest of you, see this little imp guy wandering around, trying to get to an outlet. Steve Gutenberg bursts into the room from out of his office, and he just sees the ghost, and he's like, "Holy stuff! What the heck is that?"
It's a ghost. You ever seen one of these before?
But what are Maurice, Natalie, and Ted? I always get confused because I'm like, Ted is just his name.
Yeah,
so I don't
this
have to
probably
remember a
makes it
character
more
name.
confusing for everybody because it's just me for both.
So then I start trying to use the people's like listed names of their character names. Like, no, that's not right.
Not quite, no.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
so
I don't know about y'all, but I, gave the ghost trap I had on my person to Dr. Gutenberg. So I'm just gonna start blasting because that's the thing that I can do.
Yeah, I have one, so I
Great.
will.
I have a proton pack, I think.
I have a proton
well, Mallory's
pack.
still at the car right now. It'll take you another like round to get back in here.
Yeah. Do I think I should grab anything from the car for this?
There are more ghost traps in the car, I believe, if I am reading
Mm-hmm.
Roll20 correctly. So you definitely see those in there when you put the device in.
Okay.
I think Maurice would argue to use the trap before blasting, because if this thing's an electrical based creature and we're shooting it with raw electricity, I don't know how well. Like, would we just be feeding it?
You make a compelling
Well,
argument.
we're shooting a stream of protons. If this thing is an electrical thing, that's mostly electrons.
That's right. We could neutralize it. We just blast it. Okay.
Neutralize the field. That's all this is all about.
Yeah, obviously.
Super science, obviously. We're Ghostbusters. We know these things.
Yeah. We're trained.
Yeah, I'll take out for my turn, I will like take out the trap and, I guess get ready to place it, or if it's easier to just throw it out and just be ready to stomp on it, like that's gonna be my move since I've got one.
Sure.
Okay. I'll blast it. I'll blast it as a group. Yeah.
Blast it. The creature is just trying to get to the outlet. This is a moderate distance, so it's a 10 for blasting.
Got a 17 to
cool.
blast. No ghost die.
And a 16 to blast, so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, no ghost die. That must be nice.
Listen, nobody knows what happened to you between here and the car. You have
Yeah,
that whole story
I
to
know.
tell for yourself. So
Like, oh,
It's
just,
true. I think I'm
it
just
broke
gonna
in the
not
lab.
say anything. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like
It
no one
was like
saw
this
you
when I found
break
it.
it. it's just like it's fine. It's in the same condition. Nothing
Yeah.
bad happened.
It's always like this. It's a feature, not a bug.
The proton streams arc out of your blasters and hit it. And it does the thing where like the blast hits it and then its like form goes like all spiky. So it's you clearly are hurting it, but it seems like it's going to take more than just a couple of blasts to down this little imp. So you both successfully hit it. It doesn't seem disoriented, but does seem hurt. It then leaps into the outlet. And goes back up the wall, right? And is going to, let's see, what other things are around the office? There's a bunch of computers. There are so there's oh, it might be fun. This is not a specific device, but it could be a cool thing to do. A bunch of wiring. So this has like one of those drop ceilings with the ceiling tiles. A bunch of the ceiling tiles like blow out. So as this thing like goes up into the ceiling, you see from adjacent to the wall, coming towards you, the ceiling tiles just start like blowing out, approaching you folks. And all of these wires that are arcing with electricity shoot downward at all of you, or the three of you. So that's something you're gonna have to deal with in the next round, starting now. But first, Mallory's at the car, putting the thing away. It's probably fine.
Probably fine.
You hear sirens in the distance.
Like, that sounds appropriate.
Yeah, do you want to grab any equipment from the Winnebago and head back in, or do something else?
Yeah. Let's see. I was aware that the ghost trap got left with that scientist, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will bring a new ghost trap back.
Cool. And you head back in. As you're running back in through the lobby, you can see that big wall of TVs just has the laughing face of the electricity imp on it. And the receptionist lady is just like, "What is going on?" And then she's like, "Oh wait, is this a new music video?" maybe
No,
this is
ma'am.
fine.
This is Ghosts.
And yeah. So what are the other people doing?
Well, now I've got a arcing electricity flying at me, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of wires that are coming down out of the ceiling, sparking, trying to shock you.
At this rate, like, is there? I'm not sure if there would be like any type of floor plan or anything that might tell us like where the circuit box is.
I mean,
it's like, that's the root of the problem.
Do those things exist? Yes. Do you have access to one immediately? No.
No.
Yeah, there's not much we can really do. I'm gonna blast it. That's what I got. I'm gonna blast this pile of wires in the ceiling. Actually, you know what? You said the wires are coming out, so like the wires are loose. It's like a bundle of wires, right?
Yeah.
Can I see from where it's at, like, if I were to trace very quickly visually the wires like back? Can I trace it back at all to like a junction box or anything in there, like in the ceiling? From what I can see, I don't know how many tiles are exposed.
Oh, there are a bunch of tiles that are exposed. Yeah, you probably can see that.
Because my goal would be, I would want to blast the box where these wires are coming out of to sever that connection, so it's just the wires hanging out, kind of like how we unplugged the copier, so it's just kind of stuck in this section, if you will.
That's good. Slightly harder roll, probably a 15, but just because you have to like sort of get it up and at an angle into the ceiling. But yeah, you can do that.
All right, I'm gonna spend 2 brownie points to do that.
What are other people doing?
Nice.
22. No ghost die.
Ooh, very nice.
So yeah, I mean that is pretty quick thinking. I think you're gonna blast that, and then as the wires are all coming down to like wrap up and electrocute everybody, suddenly they all like go lifeless, and a bunch of like hot but not, like dangerously hot cabling just falls on you. And you probably see that little guy leap out of the ceiling.
Like back onto the floor, or is he jumping into like another?
He probably has to jump onto the floor because he just lost his connection to the electricity in the ceiling.
Blast him again.
Yeah, I want to blast again, but another thing that I want to do is kind of get in the mindset of this little gremlin, kind of look around, see like where the next thing he would aim to like get into and try to like block the exit.
It's funny that you should mention
No.
that, because one of the other things that happens this round. So Gutenberg is on the floor, confused as to what's going on. You also saved him from getting electrocuted.
Oh yeah.
And the doors to the R&D room burst open, and the two security guards come out, and they're carrying Johnny Five, and they're clearly having a really hard time with it because Johnny Five is quite heavy. So they have the thing where they each have like their arms under one of his arms, and they're like hefting him, and Johnny Five is just going like, I have rights. You can't do this. Attica.
Johnny.
But I would say, Natalie, you see that happen, and then this little dude jumps out of the ceiling. Maurice opens up on him, and you just see the little dude's like electric eyes like lock on Johnny Five.
Ooh, okay, so maybe instead of blasting, I want to have the trap just like ready for that direction. So like if it's gonna make a beeline for Johnny, like it has to cross it and the trap in order to get to him.
Okay, all right. Maurice, roll me your blast. This is only a 10.
I still don't trust myself with only a 2 in moves, so I'm gonna give myself another dice. So I have a total of 6. 25 no ghost die.
Wow.
That's double.
That's double.
Hey.
That's double damage. Let's see. Is that enough? He's still kicking, but he's really hurt. So yeah, you hit him and he gets blast. So he was like leaping towards Johnny Five from the ceiling, and Maurice hits him and he just spins off in another direction and like falls out of sight behind a cubicle.
Oh my god.
And there's just like this plume of smoke coming up from back there, and the security guards are like, what is going on?
I think Maurice would yell just like, get him out of here. This is no place for a boy.
He's just a boy.
He's just a boy.
Look, Johnny and I bonded over communal mischief. He's my son now.
The security guards like look at Johnny and look at this mess and look at you, and they're like, what are you doing? Why are you firing weapons in here? Because they already associate Maurice with this whole problem, and now you're like firing a blaster like in front of them, and they're just like mad.
This guy.
I'm starting to think this guy's not on the level. So I don't know what Gutenberg is going to do this round. He's probably going to be like, oh, Johnny. He's going to run over to Johnny Five. Yeah. And Natalie was throwing a trap out, right?
Oh yeah, you're
just
just moving
mine.
repositioning to.
So now you're trying to keep that trap in between Johnny and whatever this thing, this horrible imp, gremlin, if you will, and yeah, I think that's where you're at. You've repositioned. That's it for this round. At this point, Mallory bursts into the room. There's the ceilings destroyed. There's like a destroyed copy printer with like an office man worker covered in ink who's just crawling, going like, oh god. And there's two security guards holding Johnny Five. Gutenberg's running to his son, and there's your coworkers have their packs out. Somewhere at the far end of the room, there's a smoke plume, but you don't see this little guy anywhere. And now we're in a new round. What is everyone doing?
Yeah, I think Maurice is kind of same vein as Natalie. I think that he is going to try and guess what the next best possible like area for this electric gremlin to go to try and cut them off.
Okay.
Using my general knowledge of floor plans.
Rolling guess.
Yeah.
Let's find
Oh,
out.
nice.
Nerf guess super OP.
What are other people doing?
A 26, no ghost die.
Oh
wow,
my
26.
god.
Nice. Yeah, seriously, Nerf guess way OP. Needs an update. Come on, it's not fair.
Where are you at, West End Games? This isn't 1986 anymore. Give it the times.
It's been nearly 40. You've had nearly 40 years to patch this. Get with it. We know your company dissolved, but that's no excuse. So I think that, Maurice, you're looking around and you're like, where's this little bugger heading? Where could he be going? And you see it's difficult for him to get to Johnny Five. He might still be trying to do that, but you see a little spark of electricity. Okay, what's the thing in an office? I need to think of something. I was gonna go computer, but that seems too cliched. We've already done printer.
They would have a phone.
It's just
sharpener.
It's just the mouse.
It's just the mouse. It's the mouse leaps up and it has little teeth. No,
that'd be cute, though.
Phones aren't bad because they would have a big phone system.
Mm-hmm.
They would have a phone bank.
Somebody's got
Yeah.
a space heater in their desk. It's the wintertime. Not
Oh,
supposed to
that's
have them
true.
hiding under your desk because it's bad for the office, but people do it anyway.
People do it anyway. Gosh.
Especially in the 80s, those space heaters were not nearly as electrically safe as they are. They're still not safe, but
they're still not safe. I like the idea of a phone because phones were so much bigger back then. Especially the office phone line. So you just see this little spark of electricity running along a phone cord going into a phone. Before the phone gets possessed, Maurice notices that. You're just like, where's he headed? Where's he headed? And then you see, and there's like a big,
Point
system.
Point in the direction of the phone.
so he's in the wire right now.
Yeah, he's about to be in the phone. He's heading towards the phone. So if you blast the phone, then he has nowhere to go and he has to leap
Yeah.
out.
I feel like I'm a pretty good shot. I'm willing to try it. Zippity zap.
Yeah, I would too. You know what? Yeah.
Cool. With a 14, Natalie zaps the phone right as the electrical spark is like traveling up the wire into it. And the phone explodes. And then that wire that's left hanging there, the dude just pops out of it. And is just like very distraught that the thing he was trying to possess is now gone. So we've got Mallory, because Mallory hasn't acted yet, as I recall, and Ted. You see this little guy like leap into the air.
Gotta blast him in the air.
Blast him.
I'll spend
Let's
some
see.
points on this too.
You could blast. So Mallory could blast or try and trap.
I'll try to use the trap. I don't remember what the two options use for like stats or whatever.
Traps actually you don't have to roll for.
Okay.
The thing is, it's like if the ghost has not been reduced to 0 ectopresence, which is basically their hit points, then the
Right.
trap won't do anything, right? But you can throw a trap as your action.
Okay.
Ted, you hit that ghost with your beam. That is exactly what you needed because it only had 1 ectopresence left. So you wrap it up in the proton stream, you lasso it, and the thing's like wriggling around, struggling, and then Mallory just comes in there, hits that trap pedal, trap pops open, and that little dude is sucked right into it.
Haha.
And then a thing comes up on the screen and it says defeated high voltage.
Yeah.
Nice. I feel empowered and like I wish to have some kind of experience points for no reason.
For no reason. Let's see here. But everybody acted, right?
Mhm.
So we're starting a new round. You have a new opponent. The security guards.
Blast him! No, I'm just kidding.
Blast. Blow 'em up.
Well, oh
Proton
boy.
streams work great
They work
against.
just against. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just as effective. But the security guards drop Johnny Five and are just like, you people are gonna have to answer some questions. And they're coming at you. What is the group doing?
Maurice will try and reason with them. Like pull out Mr. Belvedere's card. And just be like, look, your boss told us to come here and do this thing. We are under this is strictly Ghostbuster business. I think like if any damages are done, your boss is like we are comped. Like if it's fine.
So you can certainly attempt to do this. I'm not going to stop you.
Okay.
But I will point out that they were already frazzled, especially with you. But they were already frazzled from the Johnny Five situation, and then they just saw this whole room get blasted apart. They don't know if you put this ghost here. They think you had something to do with Johnny Five. They're like, I mean, do they have guns? There's
Maybe.
maybe. Are they going for those guns?
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
you
God.
could try that roll, but it's gonna be a really hard roll.
Like
We're
how hard of a
Ghostbusters,
roll?
not Ghost Bringers.
How hard of a roll are we looking at?
We're probably looking at like a 30.
Oh my God.
So how many brownie points would you say that might be?
A lot. Like 7 or 8.
Damn, stuff's
Does
getting
anybody else
expensive.
have a different plan? That's a lot.
Crikey. I mean, I'm pretty cool as well. I could try my approach, which is being awesome instead of trying to do reason.
Anybody else?
Do you want to risk that? Do you trust me?
Do I trust you? No. Do I want to spend 8 brownie points? Also, no. So I would rather Mallory do the talking because I feel like the DC is going to be a lot lower if Maurice is not involved.
It's true. I so far have had no apparent interactions with a robot, with the boy.
With the boy.
Maurice will
The
go
boy.
and check on the office worker who is stuck in the printer and show a little compassion for his fellow man in front of the guards.
All right.
You mean the
Is-
witness?
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
2 witnesses.
Yeah, interrogating the witness.
So Mallory, you
Mhm.
roll. For you, I'll make it just to 25.
Okay.
Because you didn't have the history with them and Johnny Five.
True. Okay.
Are you just gonna like go up to them and be like, "Sir, we're professionals," and like pull out your certificate, your ghost busting
Oh, yeah.
certification?
I have a certificate.
Absolutely. I am a ghostologist as well, so I feel like I could probably talk to them about like the dangers of having a ghost loose and like this is our equipment. Don't worry, we're professionals. Mostly we can use your help securing the parameters and making sure nobody got too hurt.
Start talking to them about how you just bagged a class 4
Yeah,
Oh
energy
yeah.
I
specter.
have it right
All
there.
the jargon.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
but-
okay. Like I could explain it to you, but we don't really have like that much time right now.
So yeah, I need you to either spend the brownie points, which would be 7 for you, or roll.
Okay. I will roll.
22. That's shy of 25.
That is shy.
Oh.
They're just like you
Shy
start
enough to
being
get
like
shot, though.
no, not shy enough to get shot. They're you pull out your own gun. A gunfight ensues.
Not today.
I have one bullet.
They don't
It's
know
not
that.
for this.
Yeah, they don't know that.
But yeah, there you start going up to them being like, listen, what you've just avoided was a class 4. And they're just like they're just like no, I'm sorry, this is not happening. We we have no idea what's been going on here. We're pretty sure you people are involved. And then like the secretary pokes her head in the room and she's like, "Oh wow, I'm really glad I phoned the cops." And the security guards are just like, we've got law enforcement on the way. We're gonna have you all hold here for questioning. Trying to figure out what's going on.
We have a contract, right?
You have you were hired, yes, to find this missing person. But you've done a lot of things here today.
They can't really
not
pin us
wrong.
to. They can't necessarily pin us to most of this stuff in theory.
Well,
That's true.
the thing is, as you may recall, last session, you distracted the guards to get them to run out of the security room so they wouldn't be watching the cameras. But does all that stuff get recorded? Probably yes.
We don't.
So
you get a ghost in the system. It's in the
It could have made
security
things wonky.
it could have.
That's true.
Could have. Though it probably would have made things wonky after it came into this material plane, which would have been after you broke into a restricted area.
Yep.
So yeah,
Broke into is a little strong.
It's a little. You did use the proper security clearance that you got from a Teddy Ruxpin.
Really, that's that's a bad phishing attempt for social engineering. They just left the password on the desk. It's not our fault that we stumbled across it, and then that allowed us into that. That's poor security on their part. These security officers should be a lot more ashamed of themselves.
I don't know that that's a great approach.
So they're telling you like you got to sit down and wait for the authorities, and Gutenberg might like shuffle up to you and just be like, this doesn't look good, guys.
It does not. Can you say anything to them?
I mean, I'm kind of also on thin ice because I'm the one who's supposed to be in charge of monitoring Johnny 5. And he did kind of go AWOL, so they're kind of already pissed at me. But I can try something.
Look, my dude, we'll back you up if you back us up.
Hang on, and I'll just be like, hey, where's their security? Where's this? Well, actually, just remind me, Lex, where's the security office?
The security office is like somewhere between here and the restricted area.
Okay, I have an idea. It's not a great idea, but I have
Sure.
an idea.
They're definitely not letting you out of their sight. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I was like, all we need to do is just let our friend go in the security office. Just have him destroy all of the electrical equipment in there.
Oh my god.
We have a literal force of nature here.
It's true.
Doesn't that prove their point, though?
I don't know. They said we put it here.
We could be like, well,
could be another one. How do they know?
If you didn't want us to interfere, I guess we should just let this thing back out.
Yeah, we can just let it go right now. Also, we could just be like, hey, why don't you talk to our friend Del Crenshaw at the police station?
Yeah.
Because we have friends that are cops now.
That's
true.
So, also, the commissioner or the mayor said anytime if we need anything.
Mm-hmm.
Let 'em
The
know.
commissioner, yeah.
Yeah, so we gotta. That's what we could just play that hand and be like,
Name
oh, we know
drop
this guy.
immediately.
Let me
Yeah,
speak to the
exactly.
Let's see.
commissioner. I want to
Yeah.
talk to the commissioner. Yeah.
Yeah, just as
We're
high up
down-
as we can go.
We're
Ted,
buddy
you
with the
got
commish.
another brownie point
I did?
from chat. Yeah,
Thanks,
just
chat.
one, but you got a brownie point from chat, so just
I'll
make
take it.
sure you mark that.
Thank you, chat.
Yeah, you've they just want everyone to sit down and stay put and power off those backpacks that you've got, whatever they are.
I don't recommend that.
You want us to turn off all our equipment. I just want to make sure that we're all understanding of what you just said.
Just like, yeah, we want you to turn off all your equipment. Because they don't know.
I know they don't know. That's fine. All right. And I look
All
at the
right.
secretary, the office worker guy, Gutenberg.
Gutenberg?
We're turning off all our equipment.
Gutenberg like looks at you and like nods. And he slinks into his office, pulling out his own trap that you gave him. And then do you folks pop open your trap?
I was gonna say, are we gonna switcheroo and have him like into the security office?
I don't know. I don't think that we are close enough with this man to
That's
have
true.
silent communication.
Yeah, and I'll be like, all right, turning. I mean, it's got the blinking light, which is it's on. So I'm gonna be like, all right, turning it off per your direction, security officer.
Yep.
And I will switch the trap off.
Yep. So the trap bursts open, and that little imp shoots out of it, cackling with delight that it is now free. And it
Maurice just shakes
immediately
his head, turns off his proton pack.
and it immediately like leaps past, like, so if the security guards are both standing in front of you, it like leaps between them, and you know there's that gust of wind that like blows their hats off or whatever. And it and it just like, and they both get like a little jolt, and it jumps into a wall socket, and they're both like, what the, and they whip around and are suitably distracted now.
And I sit down on the floor and I said, well, I'm just sitting down here on the floor, complying with everything you said, with all of my equipment turned off. Just want to remind everybody that we're doing exactly what you said.
Yep.
We told you what it did.
Yep, it's fine.
And you told us to do this.
So yeah, by all means, we'll wait for the police and your superiors to get here and talk about this. That's fine. We'll make sure we know everybody knows what happened and who told us to do this.
And
what was your name, by the way?
Yeah.
Name and
Where are the name
badge.
tags?
Yeah, they've got name tags. They probably, so at this point they probably take out their guns and start like shooting at the walls.
Shots fired, yo. That's
Like,
great.
guys,
Proton pack
That
turns
doesn't-
off. Natalie's just face palming.
they're ghosts. What about ghosts makes you think physical thing that can be shot?
What about this makes you think that it can be shot? Gutenberg sort of like tiptoes over and is just like, those guys have no idea what they're dealing with. And Johnny Five is just like, yeah, pigs.
Whoa, buddy.
Maurice just gives a
Yeah,
thumbs up, like, hell yeah.
Johnny
Johnny
Five.
Five.
Johnny,
He's-
they're not
Gutenberg is
real
like-
cops.
Yeah, Johnny's like, or Gutenberg's like, Johnny, you need to stop watching cable. So Gutenberg, as these guys are like running around, like chasing this like electrical surge, like shooting at it. Also the office worker covered in ink is just like, I need to go home. I'm taking a sick day. Gutenberg is just like, he reaches into his pocket and he looks to you folks. He's like, Twinkie, anyone?
I would love a Twinkie.
You know what? Yeah.
So he's like, so you guys find anything cool in the in the restricted area?
No.
If Just gotta,
I've
like,
never seen something cool in a restricted area.
And he looks over at you and he winks and he's like, yeah, there's definitely nothing cool in there. But he's
Exactly.
he's just like, so you can, so do you want to, just in the background, there's like a
There he is!
commotion.
Get him!
Yeah. As this is happening. But he turns to you, he's like, so was your plan to like sneak out now before the cops get here, or just like recatch the ghost again? Like, what are you thinking? As he's like
I
eating
don't
his
know.
Twinkie.
I'm not sure. I know catching a ghost was in the contract, but I'm not sure if.
Oh, this was a missing persons report. You know,
Yeah.
this wasn't a ghost catch at all.
Oh,
If
you know,
need us
it's
to,
true. It's
we
true.
did this pro bono
This is
before.
outside of our contract.
So if you want us to catch that ghost, you're gonna need. People would need to file paperwork, to get that really taken care of this time around.
And he's like, well, I've got this trap and I'm itching to try it out. So I could try and trap this little guy if you guys need to get out of here. Or you could wait around and and see these security guards face the consequences of their actions. You know, whichever you want to do. I'm
That's
speaking as the DM right now.
Okay.
Part of me kind of
Gutenberg got
wants
really
to.
omniscient all of a sudden. Yeah, I mean, we know people, right? In the police force.
Yeah, I'm not worried about them showing up, but like.
Yeah, me either. And it just, all I'm thinking is it gonna look worse for us if we just ditch out now? Like, and then we're gonna have the cops knocking on our arcade door in like 2 days, like, hey, what was going on with that? Or just be like, yeah, these guys are shooting up the whole building.
Well,
Like-
how long do we think it'll take for cops to get there?
Oh, it'll be pretty soon because you heard the sirens in the distance when
These
you
are
were outside
80s
the car.
movie cops. They appear as soon as you call. There's no like determining if it's the
you're
right
right, you're right.
neighborhood.
Yeah,
to
ignore the New
dispatch.
York City traffic. They'll be here immediately.
Yeah. I've seen Blues Brothers. I know they got at least 50 cop cars waiting to chase any single one person.
They're all gonna pile up.
Yes.
Go over a bunch of
That's
jumps.
perfect. I don't know. The longer that we spend here, the longer this person is missing, and it's already been days. So, like, on the one hand, it's already been days, but on the other hand,
It's been days and
It's
the
been
trail's
days.
getting colder.
Well, the
Yeah.
other side, I mean, the humanitarian in me wants to find Vince Tanaka as soon as possible.
Mhm.
The business
Yeah.
owner in me is we are getting held up on this because of part of the business part of it. So that's just like another 20 grand in the bank.
That's true.
If we waited, if we got held up by security, like there's a whole paper trail for that.
But so as
It's
much as I would
true.
love to agree, paper trail, separate contract to take care of this ghost. We're already getting our stipend. We're already collecting that daily revenue. However, isn't it a movie premiere, or he's going to like a movie set?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
with-
So
That's what the letter was talking about. Yeah.
other things to explore is there's a shoot in
New Jersey.
New Jersey, a place I'm sure you don't want to go there, but there's a movie shoot going on in New Jersey, which is the last place that Tanaka went to. So if there's any place you're going to find him, that's the best place to look.
I
You
trust
also
Steve Gutenberg.
what?
I trust Steve Gutenberg to handle the electric ghost.
Who doesn't trust Steve
He
Gutenberg?
does have a trusting face.
He built Johnny Five. You know?
and and Johnny Five watches way too much late night cable. The other things you can pursue is that those transmitters have been shipped out to 2 different places.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is a community access cable television station, which happened a week ago, and then the other one is GNN headquarters, which is the big,
Good.
CNN analog, which happened like this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got some different options, and you do know that if the police show up, I mean, you can use your connections in the force. So you probably won't have bad stuff. You probably won't go to prison.
That's good.
Always a plus.
But yeah, possibly. I mean, you might go to prison, but you probably won't go to prison. But it will definitely take time. So those are your I'm laying out your options for you.
What if we split the party?
I love it
My
when you do
God.
that.
right.
Maurice doesn't want to be near the fuzz, so anywhere that gets him away from the cops, preferable.
I feel like I have pretty good rapport with the cops.
You
I
do.
mean,
It's
you're
true.
holding one of their guns. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we are
You
brethren.
yeah.
That is missing from the logbook somewhere.
I think that was a personal. That wasn't a service.
Oh,
that
was
was a
it?
personal.
It was a personal
Oh.
gun. That was
Yeah.
his ankle gun.
His
As-
ankle gun.
Ah,
So
okay.
it's this isn't in the log. This is straight off the books.
I
Yeah.
like it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we're tight.
Yeah, Maurice.
So yeah, if you're
is-
gonna split the party, you could do that. That's an option. But what are people thinking? What do you want to do?
Maurice is going to the Winnebago.
All
if
right.
we're splitting the party.
I mean, I could either way, right? I don't have any problem.
Exactly. It's just like I
don't have any problem dealing with the
either at this point.
cops. We could talk about whatever they want to talk about our two lovely folks who set us up back into the situation. We have the thing in the car that could be analyzed, right? That's a thing too.
Mhm.
We
It's
have
true.
a mirror as well that also can be analyzed.
Mhm.
Mirror.
The medicine cabinet mirror.
Okay. Someone with good brains should go and not be here.
All right, I'll go then.
Yeah, I feel like you're the science guy.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'll go to the car.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Oh, and I'll just
I don't
leave
mind
the
if
trap.
like I
that
don't
was-
mind being the only one left back here if it's going to be more efficient. Because like it's just talking to them or getting
Yeah.
arrested and like
Oh,
We understand that Mallory's a lone wolf. We've seen this happen a bunch.
the
But
Adventures of
we don't-
Mallory gets
Yes.
arrested.
We don't have to leave Mallory alone. I just want to make that point known. We're willing to split the party and not leave Mallory to deal with the cops by herself. But
which is very touching. And Mallory's like that sounds a little bit like a waste of time. What about the efficiency?
All right, well, I'm going to the car no matter what. I will leave the trap that's here that no longer contains a ghost here just in case it comes up. Evidence
that
or
sounds great.
whatever. And then I will head to the car.
Okay, Maurice and Ted are at the car.
Yep.
I leave Natalie to make her own decisions.
I'm so torn now.
It's okay, Natalie.
Are you
Also,
sure?
I don't know what's been going on with you. You've been acting a little weird since I joined y'all. Do you need to go like rest? Are you sure you're good?
I mean, it's kind of a long story, but on the way back from last job, one of the ghosts was a little trickier. Which we can talk about when there's not,
Like this running
weird
joke.
security guards around. Yeah,
Oh my.
exactly. Yeah. Just like Ted needs to unpack a little something, whatever happened in the lab. Yeah, there's stuff to unpack, but yeah, we can visit that at a later time.
Okay, sounds good. Well, good luck.
Oh, you too. Head to the Winnebago then.
I like that I just accidentally decided for Natalie and she just went with it.
I mean, that's fine.
The Winnebago pulls away from the curb onto the street, like right as the police cruisers are showing up to
I'm
park.
sitting there smoking a cigarette.
Smoking a cigarette. So cool. So to fast forward a little bit, not plainclothes, regular like beat cops show up. At one point, this electricity ghost jumps into like, I don't know, like an electric pencil sharpener, and which gets unplugged. At which point, when it's trying to jump out, either Gutenberg or Mallory can trap it in a trap again. At which point, the NYPD see all of this.
Right.
They take everybody. They're like, everybody's got to come down to the station for questioning because we got to figure out what's going on.
Oh, so the rest of the Ghostbusters teams here, they're dealing with a missing persons case. So they're not going to be around, but I can have them come by later.
They're just like, yeah, well, if they could show up in the next 24 hours, I'm sorry, if they could show up the next 24 hours to the station, that'd be good.
All right, we can make that happen.
And you go in for questioning. Gutenberg goes in for questioning. Security guards go in for questioning. That poor office worker, it's covered in ink, goes in for questioning.
What a bad day.
And the secretary goes in. You all go to, what is it? One Police Plaza, NYPD headquarters. Where's the Winnebago headed when the rest of the party pulls out?
Are we going to New Jersey?
Are we going to New Jersey?
You say that like it's such a dreadful thing.
Well,
I don't want to go to New Jersey.
all right.
We have a whole thing we just borrowed in the back of the Winnebago.
Okay, let's do that.
We should probably offload that.
We got to go back to the arcade, clearly.
You mean the thing that's definitely not broken?
Last I saw it, it was working.
That's
Maybe
true.
we should
No one
check on-
saw it break.
We should definitely check on, the ghost that we left in a raccoon trap.
Yeah, is that...
I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure all of this is fine.
You know what? We could check the answering machine messages, see if there's anything else.
Yeah.
Oh, if we still have the Teddy Ruxpin, because didn't Mallory say something about a weird message?
Yes.
Yeah, we did have that. in
So
our
if we
answering
have the
machine.
Teddy-
It's worth a shot.
So if we have the Teddy Ruxpin, we could put the tape into the Ruxpin and see if it'll...
Well, so you have the Teddy Ruxpin wouldn't do anything for the tape, but you have that. So I assume you're talking about the tape from your answering machine from like the beginning of the game, right?
Mhm.
Where you went back.
Yeah.
So you have that. The Teddy Ruxpin won't help that, but what you also have is an audio editing device which you traded to Steve Gutenberg
That's
for
right.
the trap. So
Yep.
you
Yeah.
could use that with the tape.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Yeah.
you're gonna head back to the arcade
Mhm.
while Mallory is being taken
Detained.
to the police headquarters. And I think that's where we're gonna take a break.
That's a perfect spot for a
Excellent.
break. I love this game. I am having a great time, and I hope all of you are as well. We are going to be going into a break. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly get a little cozy while you enjoy a word from our sponsor. So, again, 10 minutes. We'll see all y'all soon. All right. Bye.
The Really Real Ghostbusters will return after these messages. We now return to the Really Real...
I did it too early. Hello. We're professionals
Yo.
at this here at Indoor Adventures, and that means that we are always very good about time management and the games that we play. Speaking of being good at games that we play, Lex, where did we last leave off?
Oh gosh. Well, we have the coolest character, the party bad boy, Mallory, headed to the police station. The rest of the party headed off of the Winnebago to go back to the arcade so that they could do a little research, figure out what was going on with some of this equipment and a particular garbled audio message that they were left. But let's do the police station first. We cut to a classic New York interrogation room with like the table and the one-way mirror.
Yep.
There's Natalie sitting there smoking, or not Natalie, I'm sorry, Mallory is sitting there smoking
We
because
look so like it's
Oh,
really easy to
yeah.
get us mixed up.
and there's an ashtray at the table, and the door opens and in walks Detective Del Crenshaw.
Yeah, my man.
And so yeah, he sees you there and he's like, Mallory. He sits down.
Hey.
He's like, I've been hearing some pretty wild stuff from some of these other people. I had to interview a robot. That was a first.
Yeah, this is my first time really interacting with a robot either.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, that scene was pretty complicated. I think I got possessed by the ghost that was on the premises.
It's just like, oh wow, that's I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not surprised considering the last time I encountered you folks that something wild happened. But
it happens. It be like that.
yeah, let's just go through this. I mean, I heard that you folks were investigating a missing persons, but that's not usually what you do. He like flips open a notebook and he's like, "What's going on with that?"
Yeah, I actually didn't get the briefing on the case in terms of like a lot of details because I was dealing with some problems with my archaeologist group. I always
Mhm.
forget the word. Me as a player.
My study group.
Study
Please.
my
No,
study group? I don't remember what they're called. It's like
It's
a
a gaggle
company.
of archaeologists, clearly.
My gaggle.
yeah. My colleagues, my scholar colleagues.
Yeah.
There is a term for it, but I don't remember what it is either. Anyway,
Yeah, my colleagues back at the archaeology crew.
yeah.
So I got to the scene late and I was surprised too. All I knew that was that we got this job and somehow this missing persons case had some kind of paranormal thing about it. And it does seem to be the case from what we've looked at, especially considering coming here, seeing a ghost on the premises. It's very suspicious.
Just like, okay, so from what I'm gathering this, you folks show up to Nakatome looking for a missing person or
Mhm.
investigating it. Uh the corporation that owns Nakatome hired you because it was one of their engineers. You get there, you talk to
We use our stuff, our
you,
ghost
you
busting
talk
gear.
you talk to this Dr. Gutenberg
Hmm.
and his robot. And then I've got some guys telling me that you went into a restricted area. Might have messed around with some stuff in there. That I don't know if Nakatomi is going to be real happy about that.
Well, you see, the notes left by this missing person that we're looking for, his name's Tanaka, they were all about a project happening in that area, and his coworker shares the office was like, yeah, here's the password. Carry on.
You're like, all right. Then this some devices go off. A ghost gets loose. You folks catch it. There's also the robot running amok, but that seems to be unrelated.
Yeah, not
And
our robot.
yeah, the let's see. So okay, I mean, you caught a ghost. That's what you seem to do. Uh, telling you right now, Nakatome or Omni might press some kind of charges for going into the restricted area. But unless they do, I mean, I got nothing on you. You were doing your job. You got all your paperwork in order for ghost busting. So there isn't really anything I can get you on for that. So
Oh, I
I think you're
hope
pretty
not.
good.
Just doing the work.
Yep. So it seems like you're cleared for any property damages. Makes sense. Um, so I think I pretty much, unless you got anything to add, I think we're pretty good.
I don't think so. Do you still want the other crew folks to come by? Or we
He's
good?
like, yeah,
You're
like
always
just
welcome to come
as
by.
he's like, maybe I'll stop by your place of business and grab your statements there. That'd probably be fine.
Yeah, sounds good.
Uh,
We'll be expecting you.
uh
Give our arcade a call ahead of time. Just see if we're there
yeah,
and not out on a job, you know.
sounds good. Um, so yeah, you're free to go, and he opens up the door.
All right, thanks.
Yeah,
Good work. Carry on. And I just finger guns.
you finger cut. And he's like, yeah, I'll walk you out. So
Oh,
he
okay. That's a
uh
little awkward. It's fine.
so yeah, so he's like, because you don't know your way around the police station,
Oh
but
yeah.
he's as you're walking down the hallway, you notice there is another. You pass by interrogation room because they all have like the glass windows, right, on the
Right.
doors. You pass by interrogation, in which is evil archaeologist Sophia Vladimir from the Mummy adventure.
That
So she's yeah,
sure.
so she's being held here still. I mean, you saw her get arrested, but she's
Right.
still
It's
here.
only been a day.
Yeah. It has not been that long. So that makes sense. She's still here. And there's a bunch of people that are taking in stuff into lockup, and like one of them has this huge like box of stuff that's marked that it's from the museum that they're taking into lockup. And he like stops to say something to Crenshaw, and he's like, yeah, hey, I got the last of the stuff that they wanted to impound from the whole Natural History Museum kerfuffle. Can you sign this, detective? You are the guy on the scene. And Crenshaw's like, oh yeah, hold on. And he's just signing it. Um, that happens, and
Cool.
and then Dell turns to you and he's just like, he's like, I gotta tell you, now that we're not in the interrogation room anymore and we're not being monitored, something a little weird is going on.
Oh.
So normally, going into a restricted area like that, pretty big deal. And like I said, we're not going to press charges. We're not going to, do anything unless somebody presses charges. But it's not even that Nakatome didn't choose to press charges, because that the jury's still out on that. It's that uh, all of that casework was immediately transferred over directly to the commissioner. The museum stuff too. Everything you guys are associated with is going straight to the top, and the lid's just being put right on it. I don't even get to lay eyes on most of the stuff anymore.
Oh wow. That's wild. Do you think the commissioner like knows these folks?
I mean, I don't know. I think something fishy's going on.
Sounds like it.
As you're
I'll keep an eye out. Let me know if there's any other information that you think would be helpful.
all right. As you're walking through the lobby, like you're about to head out the door, and then you just hear this one of the guys at the front desk who has a phone. He looks distraught and he yells like, detective, you have an urgent call. And he like holds out the phone. So like Dell is about to like leave you off to be like, okay, you can go. And then he whips around and grabs the receiver, and something is said to him. He looks distressed and he's like, what? Are you okay? Yeah, no, I'll be right there. Yeah, okay, just stay put. And then he slams the phone down and he's like, he's like, I've got to. He says to some of the other people, he's like, I got to get home. And he grabs his jacket and starts running for the door. Does Mallory do anything? Or do you, because you're free to go. You're standing, he's like running past you to get out the door. You're just standing by the doorway.
Well, probably this is cop stuff, so I will like kind of passively follow because I'm going out anyway.
Sure. I mean, he's heading towards a cruiser, gonna jump into it, start it up, flip on the lights, and get out of there. Unless you do anything to intervene.
Yeah, I'll let him go. I gotta check on my people. We got a case to solve for a lot of money.
We got a lot of money on the line. A lot of cheddar involved in this one.
Yes.
Once again, Mallory hails a cab in New York City to get to
the same cabbie every time.
Oh man, did you get any better at driving since the last time?
Now he's just more self-conscious about it because it's you again.
That's the opposite of what she was hoping for.
But we're gonna cut over to the rest of the party who so you step into the cab and close the door, and then the doors to the Winnebago slide open as the rest of the party reaches the arcade. What are they doing at the arcade?
Taking in this very delicate, springy sounding, possibly, I don't remember it. I mean, I never saw it to begin with, but I'm assuming that this is, the thing that Mallory snuck out. Bringing it inside.
Yeah.
There's if Maurice is bringing it inside, there's like a point where you're taking it out of the Winnebago and a
piece just falls off of
it.
A
piece just falls off.
Not supposed to do that.
A little spring shoots off of it. Just pauses, looks, blinks. Just a deep sigh, and then he'll just keep walking.
Okay. But yeah, you go back into the arcade. There are no messages for you on your machine this time.
Right, let's step in the right direction.
Yeah, what does the party do?
Set this thing on our back counter. Set it on the back counter, and then he's gonna go and he's gonna check on the ghost in the raccoon trap and just hope it's still there. Like, proton pack is on, trap from the Winnebago. Like, all right, there's varmints, and he's gonna go take care of that real quick.
The ghost has gnawed through the raccoon trap.
Right.
So the raccoon trap is destroyed, and the pixelated ghost is like
Is it doing that
probably
thing,
it's still in the basement, and it's probably like snacking on like some circuit boards or something. I don't know what
I was gonna say, is it doing like when a bird gets trapped indoors and they're just like in a corner, like trying to use the corner to get out or something, just like. But no, if it's also gnawing on it, just like slide the trap over.
Oh no, you know what it's doing?
What?
Because it's from
it's from Galaga.
Yeah, Galaga. Wait, now I'm forgetting which game Galaga was. Is Galaga the one where you have your spaceship along the bottom and you're shooting upward at guys that are scrolling down?
Yes.
Okay. So what it's doing is it's shooting little pixels at the wall, and it's like destroying bricks trying to get out.
Uh-oh.
Maurice is like, great, now I need to go to Lowe's. I have to order these from the Macy's catalog now. Like,
it's very slowly like panning back and forth. And every pan it's shooting one thing that like chips away at one of the bricks.
Oh my god. No, it's not. It's like the entire length of wall is like significantly destroyed enough that it's infuriating to look at, but not that it causes like a structural damage.
Yeah, exactly. But that's happening down in the basement.
Trap out. Just gonna blast it.
So you're handling that.
Yeah.
What are Natalie and Ted doing?
I think I'm gonna get, I guess, a variety of different electronic-based kind of, tools, and I'm gonna try to inspect and figure out whatever I can about this thing that very clearly is exactly the same condition as it is when we took it from the building.
Absolutely.
And if it seems broken, I'm going to attempt to fix it as well.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well, you also have the schematics because you guys took those.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
do. So I can be like, oh, that goes here. Like, so I guess, yeah, I'll start there and see, does it look to be, I'll start by reading the schematics and see what I can gather from that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a transmitter. What it does is it takes like a raw electrical signal and processes it and then transmits it to a satellite uplink. So it's kind of a pass-through device, sort of. But if you turn it on when nothing's, feeding into it, it will still send. It's sort of like unprocessed, or not unprocessed, but it'll send its like raw filter signal out to wherever it's going, which is why when you were in the lab, it turned on and it fed to the satellite dish, and sort of that's what caused that whole thing to happen. But yeah, so you could send a TV signal through it if you wanted. You could hook like a VCR up to it and like play back something and run it through that if you wanted. But yeah, but it does seem like it's not quite. There's some things that have broken on it. Some pieces aren't connecting quite right.
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to fix the pieces that aren't quite connecting.
Sure.
I don't know if I have the materials, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah, so that will definitely be a brains roll.
Okay.
Probably a 15. I also want to know what Natalie's working on while the other two people are doing this.
Yeah, well, those two are working on that. The only like other loose end that's going on right now is the audio processor and the voice messages that we got. So yeah, I'll start working on that. Oh no, what happened?
Ghost die.
Oh no. Here they come. Uh-oh.
Anyway.
So, you hook the stuff into it. Do you hook a VCR into it or anything to send signal through?
Well, right now I'm just trying to fix it. What was broken.
Sure.
I want to get everything in working order before I hook anything up to it.
Okay.
So if I recognize that like this piece is dangling loose or whatever, resolder pieces together to fix it.
Yeah.
And then if I feel like it's in a workable state, then yeah, I probably will try to.
Well, here's the thing: you got a ghost die, so I think you super succeeded at fixing it,
Awesome.
and you're just like, yeah, I think I've got it, and then you like solder a thing into place, and you're like, yeah, and then suddenly it just turns on by itself, and you're like,
no.
and starts electricity starts shooting off of it. Oh, because you're in contact with it, let's give you another vision of the infinite.
All right.
You once again see this expanse of cloudy smoke, space, the spirit realm, and you see within that a large pyramid-like structure that's like, it's like hollow, right? So it's the frame of a pyramid, but there's nothing inside of it. But at the apex of it, there is like a Tesla coil. At which point you are thrown backward against a wall, and I don't want to just have a ghost show up because that's kind of boring.
Okay.
But you're thrown backward against a wall. Take 3 brownie points of damage. And then the device explodes.
Oh Jesus! All right.
No. Welp.
Oh, ow.
Am I there to see this?
Well, you could be in the same room, but I want to, while he was working on it, because that would have taken a while, I want to
Okay.
just know what you were doing.
Yeah, I was working with the audio processor and the tape we had from the voice message that we got.
Sure. That would also be, I guess, a brains as well. Not a super hard roll because this device is specifically meant to do this. So like a 10 would probably be fine.
Okay. I'm still I'm gonna use like 1 brownie point just in case. Little treat. Okay, 13.
13. You've got headphones and you're listening into it, and you're able to get rid of this interference. And you hear what sounds like a little girl's voice, who was the one who left the message. Please help, Ghostbusters. The TV is being scary, and our dumb upstairs neighbor Sean is making it worse. My name's Carol Ann. I'm 8.5 and live at 34th and Lexington, apartment 12C.
Oh no. We've really just kind of let this go, haven't we?
We haven't looked at this in
I mean, it hasn't actually been that long. It's like because in game time,
that's right. Yeah, that's
very.
fair.
It's been like a day. So you're like, hey, I understand what's going on with this. She's like, I finally discovered this message, and then suddenly there's an explosion, and Ted is thrown against a wall.
What happened? Are you okay?
Well, there are many answers to that question at this point. Well, one, this thing's destroyed. Which might be a good thing? Maybe
You do. I will point out that you still have the schematics. So if you wanted to build one, you probably could, especially since now you've put it together so you know how it works. You were like, I might be able to build one of these.
Which is cool, but do we know what it exactly is?
Well, it's a transmitter of some kind. And I'm thinking it transmits to like another plane, like wherever ghosts come from.
Okay. So anything like a satellite transmitter.
Well, there was that dish right next to it, right? And they turned it on, and then it brought a ghost in. And this all tracks with this concept of trying to channel energy like mediums used to do, but making it modern. But, this obviously seems to be on a grander scale, right? Like attaching this to a satellite and sending it, at the very least locally, if not nationally, big signals.
A lot of places. Because then the records, so that's how I knew it was a satellite thing. It was in the records on the computer. And they sent this not only to Channel D, the public station, last week.
Oh boy.
It's going to GNN today, or it did this morning.
Well, that doesn't sound ideal. Because if you recall, also potentially in the last week, we've had a lot of work in the last week.
Which holds up the tape from the voice message. Just figured this out with the audio processor. This was a report from a little girl on 34th and Lexington, that the TV is being scary. I don't really know what that means, but it's probably related to this.
Yeah, that's oh boy. All right. This isn't good. I got a mirror to analyze still. And I do want to do some research about. So I saw this plane, whatever it is, this ghostly other world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was pretty terrifying, some sort of vision that I had with this. And I don't know. I saw like a pyramid, and I don't know if they're like transmitting to some other place and they're receiving it. And that's like, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I want to try to see if I can find something in one of our books about what this place might be called and what could be going on there. Because it's basically like staring into a whole other world, and it's a lot to process on a Tuesday, you know. So
Definitely not what any of us were expecting with the missing persons report.
Yeah. Oh no. Now I'm wondering what could have gone. Oh boy.
The at that point, Maurice comes up from the basement holding the raccoon trap with the thing, a new raccoon trap with the thing trapped in it. Once again, you've got some scorch marks where it blasted you a couple times, but you got it. And you come up to the top of the stairs. Just, I think in my mind, and maybe we established this in a previous episode, the door to the basement like comes out onto the lobby, and like across the lobby you can see the front door. So as you're coming up from the basement, the front door opens and Mallory steps in.
All right, so I don't think that the raccoon traps are going to be able to hold this thing for long. Like, are we going to try and domesticate it, or should we put it down? Sorry, kids' cartoon. Or should we take it upstate?
Yeah, I was wondering about what that was. I thought about letting it out when I came back, but looks like it solved that for me. Do you have like an emotional attachment to this?
To Little Galaga? No, I don't.
Little Galaga.
Oh no.
It's been named now.
I imagine he like looks down at it and it does like the slow zoom on it. Like big eyes. Like, you wouldn't bust me. No, I definitely would. I hate this
Glasses glint in the light, and I'm like, I could do research.
Yeah, take it if you want it.
You know what I should actually ask if Mallory, because Mallory, you had this option to do this on your drive back. I don't know how many books or things you might have had with you, but if you wanted to look up anything, or if you had any of your notes as pertaining to your leaving the oven on situation, if you wanted to look into any of that while you were on your way over, just review that stuff, because you haven't had a lot of time to do it in all the wildness of what's been going on.
It's true. Yeah, I would look it over in between, like talking to the cab driver.
The cab driver keeps trying to talk to you about the U.S. Libya crisis and the Soviets.
I'm like, look, man,
what's Reagan?
That's there. Ghosts are here.
Yeah.
I gotta prioritize.
Mm-hmm. So you are looking over the different notes, and it is clear to you, as you may have suspected, the location of the mysterious paved-over graveyard in New York City is at the current location of Stenson Tower.
All right, I will, upon returning to the crew, communicate this to them. Be like, so that the stove that I left on was more metaphorical. And I relay the rest.
Sure. Actually, do you folks know? Do the viewers know? Because I don't know how much of this conversation M and I just had over text chat. But
I don't know anything about it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to monologue, but basically one of Mallory's old archaeologist field
Field mates?
colleagues, yeah, field mates had paged me, and so I went back and found the nearest phone and called him, and the team had discovered evidence of a paved over graveyard that shouldn't have been there. And so I've been collecting notes and making calls, and it looks like it was indeed under the spooky hotel.
The Mirror Building. The Mirror Building is haunted? How could we have known?
Ancient Indian burial ground.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Wow.
So yeah, that we might want to try going to the lower levels of the building. Do you have a basement?
Basement, the parking deck where Maurice saw the weird stuff.
Oh yeah, the pool situation.
You saw weird stuff?
The puddle, it was glowing.
There was a glowing puddle when you got into parking structure underneath. And then, there was the whole time weirdness that we were happening with up with the mirrors and all the whatnot up into higher floors.
It's true.
And we have this mirror from the medicine cabinet.
Oh,
May
yeah,
or
you
may
haven't
not
played
be.
around with that mirror yet.
Yeah.
You try and analyze that.
Yeah, what could go wrong? I need 7 years bad luck, right? Let's analyze the mirror.
That's only if you break it.
We're on a track today.
You look over at the device that
Yeah,
exploded.
that just exploded. I'm like,
Oh.
It's one of those days.
Wow, that's so crazy that exploded.
I don't know. It was so weird. I had to. There's some parts where I fixed it and then it blew up. I don't know.
Oh no. Yeah. What do you want to do with the mirror?
I don't know how. I mean, I know mirrors are made mostly of glass at this point, but I just want to take a look at it, see if any way I could test to see what this, is this just glass? Is it made out of any unique materials separate from, traditional glass?
Separate from traditional glass. This thing is, so remember when you were in Stenson Tower, when you were near the walls of Stenson Tower, you got dead zones for your signals. This doesn't do that.
Okay.
But it definitely, you use some sort of analyzer on it. One of your super science objects. Yes. And it does give off a weird sort of electromagnetic field. Which is it's similar to the kind of electromagnetic field your containment unit gives off.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so it could be trapping all the kind of ghost energy that's there from the fact that this was built on top of someplace that it shouldn't have been and is now containing all of those ghostly entities too. So I guess in one way, that's not bad because they can't get out. They shouldn't be there in the first place is the point.
Yeah.
But everybody who lives there is going to have to deal with ghost problems now. That can't
ghost
leave.
Problems.
Listen, that's job security.
That's true. This is just job security. It's there's a ghost in the building, you bust it, but you're just going to come back next week, get paid every time.
I mean, we're going to have to do
true.
a lot more lobbying to get this place removed, which that's a whole other thing that we'll have to do at a point.
We'll have to do after we acquire the money from the guy who built it, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, then we got to get there first.
We're not going to bite that hand just yet. Let's get fed first.
So you know right now that this thing has a similar electromagnetic field to your containment unit. Is there anything specific you want to do with it to test out its capabilities? Or do you just want to be like, that's enough information, I'll leave it alone?
Ooh. We have little Galaga in a raccoon trap, and this is giving off a containment field electromagnetic vibe.
Yes.
I want to bring it close to the mirror and see how the ghost reacts to it.
The ghost does definitely seem like it's like drawn to it.
Okay. So it's kind of okay. It's being pulled towards it. I'm wondering.
Yeah,
what we
but
can
since
do
there's
with-
the trap in the way, it can't be like pulled into it.
Yeah.
If you
Do we
guys
open the
want,
trap?
Maurice
Well, why
can
don't we put the
open the
mirror
trap. Yeah.
to
We
the
put it
edge and then lift it up. and see
exactly.
if it-
Yeah. Yeah.
Science, real science experiments.
Little Galaga is sucked into the mirror.
To the mirror.
And then you look into the mirror. You just see a normal reflection. But your device that was measuring the electromagnetic field starts pinging again.
Oh, okay. So it's in a cycle again.
Yeah, well, if you check the device, the electromagnetic field emitting from the device is now twice as strong as it was earlier.
But we can't see little Galaga.
Free energy? What is happening?
Free energy.
That's what it seems like to me.
It's solar. It's ghost powered.
Boy. Okay. Yeah, I mean, everybody saw that happen. It's trapped in here, and now it's giving off double the electromagnetic fields that it was prior.
And that entire tower is one hell of a battery. Sorry, one
Yeah.
heck of a battery.
Yeah. This is a kid show. How dare you?
Yeah.
Oh no, we have a PG rating now.
I know.
You get one.
We can only be we can only get moved to a bad time slot now.
You're gonna be at like
I mean,
6:30 in the morning on like Sundays or
Tuesday.
something.
Oh, you mean like
Tuesday.
Ghostbusters?
Yikes.
Anyway,
Shots fired.
Yeah, it's true though. And I'll just be like, well, now we have this mirror with a ghost trapped in it. I don't know what we do with it. I didn't think that far ahead. So I will put it face down on the floor.
Sure.
And yeah, the only other thing I want to do is I want to research the ghost zone, whatever it's actually called.
I will point out that it is getting, I don't remember what time of day it was, but it's starting to get late in the day because you've spent a bunch of time being at the police station, working on devices, trapping little Galaga again in a mirror, decoding the audio device, figuring out where the cemetery is. You spent a bunch of hours on all this stuff. So now it's like time has passed. So yes, you can certainly research the ghost zone, but I need to know if the party's just going to spend more time doing that, or if they're going to do something, if they're going to start if they're going to head toward a different destination or something else. Because if you don't, things are going to start happening because more time has passed.
Maurice is down to go to investigate the news station that they had the shipment sent to. GNN. He would want to check that out because bad shit's been happening like all week since that's been in there. GNN seems like a much bigger news network than like local news stations. So if that's like centered on New York that's causing problems, like the idea that it's like, the entire eastern seaboard is now going to be getting like ghosts, like we can only do the city.
So so there's GNN, there's Channel D public access, and there's New Jersey.
GNN.
Yeah, which is going to be a movie set, which is what I'm thinking about now. I'm like, what's the deal with Vince going to that now?
You know what I will point out? If Ted wants to research a bunch of materials in books, if the party wanted to road trip to New Jersey, Ted would have time sitting
Let's
in the
do it.
Winnebago to go through books on the way down there.
New Jersey it is.
Man, imagine not getting motion sick.
Right?
It's great.
This
It's a
is
really nice
this is
thing,
RPG
actually.
character Ted. He's good with that. He can read all he wants.
He can run. He can read all he wants. He can stay up. Actually, Ted already stays up.
Ted
Never
already-
mind.
Yeah, that part's just a little bit. Other than that, though, living my fantasy life. I'm great at running, and I can read without getting motion sick in a
Same.
Winnebago on the way to New Jersey.
I never
Okay.
smoked a cigarette, but now I bully cab drivers.
Yeah, now you get to live your idealized cool self. Someone
Oh
who
my
smokes and bullies cab drivers and has a gun.
And borrows guns from cops.
Yeah, and we're buddy with them. We're like, oh, it's just the police.
Wait, is
Like-
our dream version of us an incel? Is that what's happening right
So just to make sure, if you guys want to vote on it, I just want to know
now? New Jersey.
where you're going.
New
So we gotta-
Jersey.
Jersey.
I like the road trip idea. That's
Okay.
cool.
The party files in to their Winnebago and head out of the city towards rural New Jersey. As you're heading out in the afternoon, you get on the highway, you leave the hustle and bustle of the city behind. The skyscrapers turn to large tenement buildings, turn to the suburbs, turn to wooded areas covered in snow. And you see a signpost because you know where you're headed. You might have to pull out a map, right? Because GPS hasn't been invented yet, but you know where you're headed, and you go through this little small town, and there's a sign for Clear Lake, and you head down the dirt road towards this lake, and you see up ahead, as it's getting dark, a large house. I think it's 3 stories. An old Victorian that was built on the side of the lake by, I don't know, some rich person. It's very old. Seems kind of like it's in disrepair, and there's all these vans parked outside that are clearly like movie crew vans. And as you're pulling up, there's like some people hauling around heavy like lighting equipment and stuff. And they see you, and they're just like, and this one guy is just like waves you over for like where to park, and he's just like, hey, what are you doing here? This is a closed set.
We're looking for Vince Tanaka.
And they're like, oh, probably, yeah, no, who you better come inside. And they
Okay.
yeah, the guy who's introduces himself as Mike the AD
Nice.
opens the double doors into a lobby of a group of people, and you see somebody you hear a girl scream right as the doors are opening. And you see this girl covered in blood, just screaming her head off.
That
Killer
like
effects.
intentional.
Yeah, makeup.
Yeah, and you hear a word in a language you don't recognize, the strange foreign language of Italian.
Oh, of course. The Italian word for cut.
Prosciutto.
Yeah. Taglio, you hear. And all these people
Ah.
come in from the side, and suddenly the lighting changes, and the girl looks over at you, and she's like, what's going on? And the director just this guy who's this dude, kind of sunken features, pale, kind of gangly, with like a mop of gray hair, speaking really quickly in Italian, gesturing at all of you very angrily. And then like points over at this some other person and yells something at them, and they clearly don't understand what the guy is saying. And then he yells at them again, and they take the light and like move it, and then he seems satisfied. And but that's where we're at in the entry hall to this old Victorian mansion with a bunch of film crew all around. And I think that's probably where we'll end today.
All right.
Perfect. We don't need a cliffhanger sometimes. Sometimes it's enough to just... Man, we got enough shit on our plate back at the arcade.
We do.
Oh yeah, we're busy. We're full up. Our dance card.
Oh, I am absolutely loving this, though. Lex, thank you so much for running this game. I am having a blast, but I always have a blast whenever any of these folk are on the channel. Lex, where can we find you? What do you do?
Oh gosh, you can find me on Twitter at Dank Dungeons. I do all sorts of things. I have written RPGs. Have written RPG supplements. I have done lots of actual play stuff, both recorded, and there's some live stuff that's ongoing right now besides this game, which you can check out. There's links to all those things on the link tree on my Twitter, so go find that. Check it out.
And Ted.
Well, hi, yeah, I'm Ted. I run Nerd Immersion. It is a channel where I do all sorts of TTRPG related stuff, news, other kinds of videos and whatnot. I play in a game with Lex over there, D&D 5e game. We stream pretty much weekly. I'm looking to get an Army of Darkness thing. Looks like in like the next 3 weeks that's going to happen. Indoor will be involved in that. Seems like it'll be like a short mini kind of arc, but enough to get you to understand how the Army of Darkness system works. Yeah, and that's the main stuff going on right now. So.
Excellent. And M.
I am M, and you can find me around the internet as McBoots42. And I don't have any cool new updates so far, other than to say that we had a fantastic time at our last Draw Forward charity fundraising stream in support of Board Builders and raised over $10,000. So stay tuned. For the next one coming up this summer, we'll be raising funds for Child's Play charity, and I will be sure to tell people about it as I get more news.
Incredible. And heck.
All right. Yeah, you can find me on all the social medias at SirHeckalot, including Twitch, Itch, Twitter, Instagram. I'm all over the place. Just find me. It's the best place to figure out where I'm going to be in TTRPGs next, because I'm just kind of all over the place there too. Most notably, you can find me on Neon Lights Roleplay a whole lot at this point. Every other Monday, every other Tuesday, and every other Friday. For just various campaigns, 2 of them being 5e, then one of them being a Rogue 2e campaign. On the 21st is going to be our premiere of the Old Margrave on ESP TTRPG, which is an Into the Woods inspired campaign. I'm very excited for it. It's going to be very cool. But other than that, you can find me sometimes over on Lost Caravan RPG, and then just popping up in random places. You'll never know where you'll see me next. So just follow me on social medias to figure out where I'll be. But that's it for me.
If you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am, but if you don't, it's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this currently on Monday and Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or you can find me on Sundays at LB Hack'emup's channel, where we are wrapping up a Monster of the Week campaign, which is also going to be great. And oddly enough that you bring up the Child's Play charity, because on April 1st, I will be participating in the Mercy Road charity fundraiser that a good friend of the channel, Saucefire, is going to be putting on, where it is a 24-hour D&D stream where he DMs for 24 straight hours. He is a little madman who raises a bunch of money for a good cause, and you should all seriously consider checking it out. I believe that the registration is still open if you would like to try and secure a slot in Mercy Road yourself. So consider checking that out. Again, that is going to be March 1st. or April 1st. But that's no fools. But that is me. That's all the stuff that I have. So check us out. If this is your first time joining us at youtube.com/indoor adventures, we post VODs of everything that we've done up until this point, the day after we record this live. But for now, we are going to be going into our Patreon supported after show. So if you've had any questions for myself or any of these other fine players, consider joining us. The Discord can be found in the Twitch chat to the side. Patreon link can be found down below. That's our show. So again, Lex, thank you so much for running this game. Thank you so much to these players for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!